Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to this gym booty workout. We're going to go ahead and get started with a warm-up, beginning on your hands and knees. Bringing that knee out into a donkey kick first, and then rotating the knee in a circle going in a backwards direction. Getting the circle as big as possible, trying to get that knee up so it's parallel to the ground, so that thigh is parallel to the ground. Going 8 in one direction, and then going 8 in the opposite direction. And now you've noticed I've switched directions. Now, beginning with lifting the leg back and up, and then around towards the front of your mat. So now switching over to the opposite side, just doing the exact same thing, activating our glutes, moving in that backward motion first, and after 8, moving in the forward motion with these knee circles. Also being mindful of keeping the weight evenly distributed among both hands and not leaning more towards one hand or the other. Now just wiggling the hips from side to side to just stretch out the glutes that were just activated, and then transitioning into pigeon pose. Sliding your right knee behind your right wrist and bringing that right foot as close to your left wrist as possible. And then sitting upright so that we can really get deep into the hip flexor and the glute. And when you're ready, switching sides. Be mindful that you can always pause the video if you need to, and you can always put a pillow underneath the glute of the front leg if you need a little bit of added support here. And now let's begin. We have our 15-second rest period now. We're starting off with sumo squats. You have the option to use a 40-pound dumbbell or lighter or heavier like I'm using here. And I will be giving you an option if you don't want to use any weights at all. So go ahead and begin, making sure that the weight is in your heels as you go down into the squat. You're pushing the floor away through the heels. And here is the alternative option of you just touching the ground with your fingertips. But once again, even if you choose the variation without the weight, make sure that the weight stays in your heels the entire time. Now moving on to Bulgarian split squats. These are one of my favorites, and I will also show you another variation with these so that you're able to target your glutes a bit more and get a 90-degree angle with that front leg. So as you can see, I'm getting a perfect 90-degree angle because I'm moving backwards with the lunge instead of down with the lunge. And you can see in this demonstration here from the pop-up, I'll show you where you go down, which is not what you want. You want to go backwards so that you're really getting deep into that lunge position. This next exercise here is perfect for activating your side glute. For those of you that want to target your hip dips or just grow your hips in general, your hip muscles, this movement is perfect. What helps me keep my balance here is keeping my eyes focused on one spot. Instead of having your eyes move around, if your eyes can be still, your mind can be still, and your body can be still. And you can use this with any balancing motion, whether it's this or in yoga. And now for our final exercise, hip thrusts. I'm using, once again, that 40-pound dumbbell on my hips. You're welcome to use more or less weight, whatever you like, but make sure that the feet are as wide or a little bit, maybe even wider than your mat. And you want to make sure you're pressing into the heels. I have my toes pointed outward because I'm activating the outer glute, but you can also have the feet parallel. And then I pause for about 2 to 3 seconds when you get to the top and really squeeze into the glutes to activate them. Now it is time for our cool down. So beginning in a straddle position with the knees slightly bent, toes pointed up to the ceiling, you're just going to hinge at the hips and lower down, maybe bringing the elbows to touch the mat and then coming back up. And you can use a 10-pound weight on the back of your neck, or you can use no weight and just have your hands interlaced behind your head. And now taking the legs in, bringing the knees into your chest, and then bringing the feet about hips width apart so you can windshield wiper the knees left to right. Now extending both legs in front of you, get your flesh out from underneath your sits bones. As you inhale, reach the arms up, and as you exhale, fold over your legs. Each inhale brings more length into your spine, and each exhale, relax deeper into the shape. Inhale, slowly roll yourself back up. Bring the soles of your feet on the ground and lift the hips up for a reverse tabletop. This gives a nice stretch to your shoulders and your hips. And then reaching the right leg up, right ankle over your left knee for figure four, sit down. This will help to open up the outer hips and glutes. And then extending that bottom leg and twisting, bringing that right knee over towards the left side of your mat. And bring your gaze over towards your right hand for a twist. Inhale brings that knee back to center. Go ahead and come back into that reverse tabletop, lifting the hips up high, and then we take the left ankle over your right knee. Sit the hips down and enjoy this seated pigeon posture. Extending that right leg and bringing that left knee over towards the right side of your mat. Gaze to that left hand. Next inhale brings this knee back to center. Extend both legs out long. Bring your left hand to your heart and right hand to your navel. Focus on your breath. Notice your heart beating in your chest. And allow your body to just melt into the floor. Whenever you're ready, bend your knees and roll over onto your right side and gently press yourself up to a comfortable seated position. Thank you guys for joining me for this quick 15-minute gym booty workout. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.